Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. I hope you're doing well wherever you may find yourselves. Blessings to all, and welcome to another episode in my little mini-series where I count backwards, ranking my favorite album runs of all time, top 20. Today we're on number 8 in my ranking and episode 13, and I'm talking today about a German band. You probably figured it out who it is already, but just by me saying that. And yes, it is the Scorpions. Sometimes rock, sometimes hard rock, sometimes protometal, sometimes 80s metal, depending on where you are in their catalog. And I have 9 albums, and yes, I'm including the debut. So I have a 9-album run here. And my introduction to the Scorpions was not this album, but rather thanks to courtesy of MTV because of the video for No One Like You. Then I picked up Blackout, loved it. Then I got Animal Magnetism, and then I got Love Drive, and I went from there. And I was a big Scorpions freak in high school, 14, 15 years old, so I'm a freshman and sophomore. And then I didn't hear this because I borrowed it from a friend of a friend until I was a graduating senior. And I listened to it 2 or 3 times, and it really wasn't my cup of tea, although there were parts of the first, the 4th, and the 7th song that I liked. But after that, I was like, yeah, and I just, lost touch, so to speak, with or desire to listen to it. Just wasn't my thing at the time. And then lo and behold, about 10 years ago, I'm just scrolling through YouTube and said, okay, let me listen to this again. It's been years. And boy, I was like, I got to buy this. So I buy it, and I'm glad I did. So let's talk about the tracks. Those 3 songs that I thought were okay. I'm Going Mad, the first track, the 4th track, In Search of the Peace of Mind, and Lonesome Crow. I think they're dynamite. Now, this has been described as krautrock, a little bit of that. It's more, and people have said this as well, it's psychedelic, German, blues, hard rock, maybe. It's got some definite psychedelic. It's got a psychedelic flavor to it, so I'll grant you that. It's got some heaviness to it, and because they're German, I don't want to call it krautrock. Krautrock to me is a little different from the textures and layers and flavors you get here. Maybe a little bit, but definitely proto-metal, perhaps. Psychedelic proto-metal, maybe. Okay, so I'm Going Mad, I think, is fabulous, as I said. And overall, all 7 tracks, I think Klaus's voice is just amazing here. And of course, you have the young Michael Schenker here, and 14 or 15 years old at the time that this is released and recorded and put out. And his guitar playing is amazing. So, like I said, it took me a while to appreciate this, and I'm glad I have it, as I said. Excuse me. So the next song, It All Depends, and the song after that are Leave Me, which, as I said, was not a big fan of when I first heard it. I think they're great songs. I'm Going Mad is stellar, though. In Search of the Peace of Mind is also stellar. Of course, they go on to play this live quite a bit in their live shows, up to and at least including the Tokyo Tapes years, right? It's on that live album, thank goodness. Then you get the 5th and 6th tracks, Inheritance and Action, which I think are quite good as well. Again, I didn't appreciate those, but I do now. And then the Dynamite track also is still for me. Another Dynamite track still for me, of course, is the title track, Lonesome Crow, which is, it's between this and Search of the Peace of Mind, a toss-up, which of the 2 is my favorite. But yeah, still, I'm Going Mad, In Search of the Peace of Mind, and Lonesome Crow is, sorry to be repetitive, I'm just so passionate about those songs. Those are amazing, stellar, masterpiece type songs for me. And then the other ones are not anything to sneeze at. They are not masterpieces, but they're great songs. So the debut for me, I'm so glad that I ended up getting it. All right, next is the sophomore effort. And you have hit on this that they played live, also on Tokyo Tapes and Beyond. Speedy's Coming, of course. Then you get the wonderful They Need a Million. There's some on this album. There's from Rudolph and Uli, you have some like voice narration stuff going on. It's kind of cool that they do that. I think Klaus does a little bit of that as well, if I remember. It's been a while since I listened to this, but again, Speedy's Coming, hit off the album, meaning they, the one that's very popular, even though it may not have been released as a single kind of thing. They Need a Million is just fabulous. Both of these first two songs co-written by Klaus and Rudolf Schenker. Now, Drifting Sun is the first Uli Jon Roth written piece here, the lone writer in this piece. Of course, him replacing Michael on guitar. And this is an interesting song. Well, let me say it's a very good song, but it's an interesting song because Roth seems to be obsessed with the word sun in some of the catalog, including his solo career, if I'm not mistaken, kind of in the same vein, but to a lesser degree that Dio uses the word rainbow a lot in his lyrics, whether he was in Rainbow or Solo or Black Sabbath. Anyway, then you get the unbelievable song Fly People Fly, written by Klaus and Rudolph. And what's interesting is that this song, I think, should be second to last to introduce the last song, Fly to the Rainbow, because in Fly People Fly, Klaus sings the lyrics, Fly to the Rainbow. They seem, or should be paired together in the same way, like UFO, you have Prince Kajuku and the Coming of Prince Kajuku, kind of like that. Wonderful song. One of my favorite songs of all time, actually. Then you have the wonderful This Is My Song, and I can relate to that because many of us can, because of, you hear a song on the radio or one that you like, and that's my song. Could also be interpreted as something I written, and it's my song. It's for me, that kind of thing. So anyway, because artists create art for their fans, but also for themselves. Then you get the wonderful Far Away. This was written by Klaus, Rudolph, and Michael. He doesn't play on here, however. I looked it up, and according to my research, he doesn't. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Far Away is fantastic. And then Fly to the Rainbow, also written by Michael Schenker and Uli Jon Roth. So, favorite songs here, Fly People Fly, Fly to the Rainbow, Far Away, and They Need a Million. Great sophomore effort from the Scorpions. Here's where I got to start putting fingers over parts of the album covers because of the nudity. So, In Trance. I could have sworn when I ordered this that it was the clean cover. It's not. This is not, for me, as good as the first two. I'm sorry. Yes, it's not as good as the first two. Yes, I like the debut better than the third installment. Now, there's some good stuff here. Dark Lady, not sure if that's Shakespearean reference, but it is a good song. Then you get the wonderful best song on the album, the title track, In Trance, a song about being overwhelmed by love because of the beauty and personality of a young woman. Can't sleep at night, that kind of thing. Alone without her, that kind of stuff, right? Life's Like a River, I think is an underrated song. Then you get the hit off the album that they played a lot live, Top of the Bill. Living and Dying is okay, the next track. Robot Man, perhaps left over from the second album because you have the second album cover. Oops, here. See, Robot. So then you have Evening Wind. It's a very good song, Uli Roth composition. Sun in My Hand. There we go again. Sun in the title of the song. Uli Jon Roth song composition. Longing for Fire. This is a Schenker Roth composition. It's a good song, not great. And then Night Lights, a Uli Roth song composition. It's a good song, not a great song. So a little bit of a falling off for me with respect to the previous album, but Top of the Bill, In Trance, Robot Man, and Evening Wind are my favorite 4 songs on here. All right. Next is the clean covered version of Virgin Killer. This is an album that is wonderful from start to finish. Here's where you get this, and the one that's coming is where they start to be more in the vein of proto-metal, or at least hard rock. Not everything on here is hard rock or proto-metal, but because the first two albums, well, the first album I've already explained. The second album has some epic tracks on it too. It's only 7 songs like the debut, and it's got, like the first album, has some progressive stuff to it. Not prog rock, but progressive. And then In Trance is where they're more, getting away from the long, extended pieces for now, but it's more, short compositions, more vein towards, perhaps radio airplay and that sort of thing. But this is definitely heavier and better than In Trance. You get 2 hits right off the bat, Picture Life and Catch Your Train, which are just fabulous hits in the sense that they play them live. They're on, I think both of these are on Tokyo Tapes. In Your Park and Backstage Queen are my least 2 favorite songs in the album, but I do like them quite a bit. As again, this is a good album. I'm sorry, this is a great album from start to finish, excuse me. I would rank In Your Park and Backstage Queen as very good songs, but everything else on here is fantastic. The title track, Virgin Killer, proto-metal, definitely, sung by Klaus. Hellcat, sung by Uli, proto-metal as well, I believe, to me. Wonderful tune. Then you get Crying Days, a nice song. Different from the previous 2. I like it, though. It's actually quite good. Then, what a way to end the album with Polar Nights and Yellow Raven. Polar Nights, a hit off the album. It's fantastic. And then Yellow Raven has a kind of smoky ballroom, bluesy lounge act type feel to it. But it usually that's not something I like, but here it works. So Yellow Raven, I think, is dynamite and a great moody piece to end the album and kind of keep you kind of like exhausted and, in a good way once the album is over, if you listen to it from start to finish. So Scorpions' Virgin Killer included in today's run. Next, of course, is In Trance. I'm not sure why this album cover got banned. This version you must get if you want to get, and that's why I bought it, to replace the previous one, because it has the only place to get the studio version of Suspender Love, which you can find the live version on Tokyo Tapes. Steam Rock Fever, hit off the album. We'll Burn the Sky, hit off the album. Marvelous tunes. Of course, play those live as well. I've Got to Be Free, fabulous tune, 4 minutes total, and we can relate to wanting to be, free from a relationship, right? Rock and roll is all about sex and love and other things, but sex and love and being in a relationship. Thank goodness I'm in a relationship, or too bad I'm not in a relationship, woe is me, or I'm glad I'm out of this relationship. That's one of these songs. The Ride of Your Time is, boy, how is this not a hit? This is an amazing tune. This is an amazing song. If I was a promoter back in the day, I would have promoted the song like nobody's business. The Sales of Karen, of course. Uli Roth singing here is fabulous. Us Scorpions fans love this song, or most of us do. Your Light is, I think, underrated. Then you got the quirky He's a Woman, She's a Man. Good tune. A hit. Born to Touch Your Feelings, almost 8 minutes long. Like The Ride of Your Time, if I was a promoter back in the day, boy, would I have promoted the daylights out of this song. And nights. What a great song. And then there's some bonus tracks here, but everything else except for Suspender Love, everything else is a demo, and there are no lyrics. Klaus is just singing na 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 and da da da. So anyway, Suspender Love is dynamite, and that's why you get this version. So what a great album. This and this complement one another so much because of that proto heavy metal. Next, got to cover up the album cover again. The back's also bad. Make sure I got it right. Talking about Love Drive, we have the return of Michael Schenker on guitar. Of course, he doesn't stay in the band, goes back to UFO after this. This is my favorite Scorpions album, by the way. Loving You Sunday Morning, great ballad. Another Piece of Meat, heavy rocker. Always Somewhere is just an amazing, exquisitely done love song ballad. You can check that out on YouTube. There's a wonderful live performance of them doing this when it was, originally done live the first go around. It's wonderful. Then you get the wonderful Coast to Coast instrumental. I love the version on Worldwide Live, even better for me. That's the definitive version. Can't Get Enough is a short 2.5 minute rocker. Is There Anybody There is great as well. And then to close the album, like the last two albums, you have the wonderful Love Drive, hard rock or light hard rock song, and then the wonderful ballad Holiday. Really cool album, my favorite. All right, next is, of the last four that I'm presenting here, my least favorite of those four. Got some good stuff here though, but there's some disappointing stuff as well. But it's good enough to make the cut. Make It Real's great. Nice, cool, short and sweet, quasi rocker song, right? It has a little pop melody to it. Don't Make No Promises Your Body Can't Keep. Kind of cheesy. It's okay. Hold Me Tight is amazing. Oh boy, this is great. Great ballad type song. 20th Century Man. I think it's overlooked. I love the song. Lady Starlight, another ballad. 6 minutes and 15 seconds long. Great. Not the same as the sweet song, Lady Starlight. Boy, there's a pick. Which of the two do I like better? Falling in Love is an okay song. Only a Man is a good rocker. The Zoo, I've lost the shine. The shine is worn off for me for the song. The voice box doesn't do anything for me anymore. And then I don't know what to make of Animal Magnetism. Almost 6 minutes. This is a very weird song. It's very atonal, foreshadowing a song on the next album, which I actually like. So there are 9 songs here. I like 7 of them. So it still makes the cut, but it is weak compared to the previous and weak compared to the next two. So anyway, Animal Magnetism with its Freudian album cover as well. Next we get Blackout, of course, my second favorite album, also produced by Dieter Dierks. I'm pretty sure he produces all of these. Don't quote me on that. Maybe not the first one. You got the title track, which is a nice hard rocking 80s metal type song. Then you get the wonderful hair metal type ballad, Can't Live Without You. I'm sorry, you get the hard rocking Can't Live Without You. Then you get the 80s hair metal type ballad, No One Like You, my favorite song by the Scorpions of all time. You Give Me All I Need, also a wonderful ballad from the band. Then you get the rocker Now, short and sweet, 2.5 minutes. Dynamite, also a nice rockin' tune. Then you get the wonderful Arizona. I love listening to this because it, reminds me of Led Zeppelin 2, where you have the speaker fading in and out of one channel into the other, back and forth kind of thing. There's more to the song than that, of course. It's really good. It's a song about getting lucky. And then China White, which is an odd title for the song considering this song is not about drugs, but it's about what a lot of thrash albums did back in the day and talk about the threat of nuclear destruction. Even Dokken got in on that on the Under Lock and Key album with Till the Living End. Or, no, that's not right. Anyway, it's on that album. So, yeah, so, and like Animal Magnetism, the song on the previous album, the title track, you have some atonal, weird, quirky guitar solo, a weird, quirky, atonal or quasi-atonal guitar solo going on here, and yet I like this one. I don't like it on Animal Magnetism. It works here. There's something dull and banal about the title track, Animal Magnetism. This is fantastic, and part is because of the lyrics. In that the lyrics that I'm thinking of is, the more love you give, the more you find, is just a wonderful thing to say. And of course, what a great way to end the album with track number 9, When the Smoke is Going Down, a great, wonderful ballad, and I can envision the smoke, subsiding and ebbing back into the background and the band leaving the stage kind of thing. I wonder if they ever played that last. It'd be great to play that last as an encore, right? So anyway, Blackout is next, and then finally, got to cover up some more skin here. Last album in the run, Bad Boys Running Wild. One of my favorite songs off the album, Rock You Like a Hurricane as well. These are two wonderful, amazing songs. Excuse me. I'm Leaving You is a very cool, catchy song. I like it. Coming Home is an okay song. It's kind of lost its shine, but not totally. I listen to it once in a while. I like it, but I think that it's not as powerful as I thought it was, or I just, kind of graduating from it kind of thing. Anyway, The Same Thrill, I like Coming Home much better than The Same Thrill. The Same Thrill is kind of repetitive and dull. It's okay. Big City Nights, one of my favorite songs on the album along. So Bad Boys Running Wild, Rock You Like a Hurricane, Big City Nights are 3 of my favorite 4 songs. You know what the 4th one is. It's coming. As Soon as the Good Times Roll and Crossfire are okay songs. But boy, Still Loving You is just amazing. Almost 6.5 minutes. Not exactly the same as Kisses, I Still Love You, but it's similar in the sense that they're both 6 minutes and change, and they're both, compelling songs about, please don't go, baby, please don't go kind of thing. So what a wonderful run by this band. It's too bad that pretty much everything after this doesn't do much for me, if anything at all. Sting in the Tail, I guess, is okay, but I don't own it. Savage Amusement that came next doesn't do anything for me. And then the song with the whistling, that really got, that's when I was pretty much done with the band. So anyway, enough of that. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. Take care. God bless. Bye.